Good morning. I'm Richard De Silva, and you're listening to Defence IQ on behalf of our Naval Defence Series. Maritime Reconnaissance and Surveillance 2011 will kick off in September, allowing the industry to analyse the latest operations, procurement targets and technologies worldwide, and paying particular attention this year to non-traditional ISR platforms. With that in mind, I'm very pleased today to be speaking with Fabrice Coheleach of the European Defence Agency's Maritime Surveillance Capability Directorate. Fabrice, a very warm welcome to the session. How are you this morning?
Yeah, very well, thank you.
Well, many thanks for calling in, sir. Let's start with the big picture. What can you tell us about the current maritime requirements for European forces?
The maritime requirements for Europe are covered by what we call the Integrated Maritime Policy, which is also called the Blue Book, and this was already published in October 2007. And this is, of course, available to read for everybody. So this Integrated Maritime Policy for the European Union is based on the clear recognition that all matters relating to Europe, oceans and seas are interlinked, and that sea-related policies must develop in the joint up way if we are to reap the desired results. And this integrated intersectoral approach was strongly endorsed by all stakeholders. So it addresses, of course, numerous aspects of activities and policies relating to the ocean and seas, and most of it are definitely out of the remit of the European Defence Agency, and I will therefore not address them. But there is a field where we play a role, and this is the maritime surveillance.
Excellent. I understand that you're deeply involved in something called the Maritime Surveillance Network project. Could you tell us a bit about that and explain what its aims are?
Yeah, definitely. So, well, our so-called MARSUR network has been designed to support common security and defense policy operations, and also regional maritime surveillance. So the EDA has been tasked already in 2005 by the Ministers of Defense, and the mandate was very clear. We had to focus in particular on the interface with European security and border control. So from the beginning, it was not just a matter to be addressed in the defense community. Well, I will not go into the details about all developments, but we have designed and developed federated networks with no centralized structure, so once again fully distributed, and which uses the already existing maritime surveillance systems operated by our member states. So this is a very important point. We do not develop any new maritime surveillance system. We just connect already existing maritime surveillance system. So the network enables actually the exchange of data relating to maritime surveillance, be it ship contacts, query for specific information, and specific functionalities like emailing, chats, whiteboarding, alerts, all in a secured environment and based on internet connections and technologies. So, and this is a very important point. In such a network, you exchange with whom you want, what you want. And this is a very important feature because the establishment of such a network is not a technological adventure. It is mainly based on the trust and confidence between stakeholders. And this first takes time, that's definitely sure. And second is, again, much more than just establishing technical connections. We have actually organized a demonstration day last Thursday on the 30th of June, which has been highly successful as we show the attendance that all functionalities were operating, and mostly we did that really live, so it was definitely online. Everything that was presented was actually coming from the national surveillance maritime system of 6 member states which had volunteered to support the demonstration, namely Spain, Finland, France, Italy, Sweden and UK. All those national systems were remotely operated, so this was a great success and showed that the concept that we have developed in this network is absolutely pertinent. And we also showed that the information shared could feed another party, and in this case we decided to dispatch an operational headquarters. Wherever it is located, it doesn't matter. As the main goal of the network, once again, is to support CSDP operations. But this is very important also because only 6 member states the capability of 6 member states only were dispatched. But this has been strongly supported by 15 member states, and based on what we have showed, And based also on the fact that this is definitely a low-cost solution, I'm quite sure and I'm definitely confident that additional member states will join the project.
Well, that's hopefully an area that we can look into in more depth at the event coming up. For now, looking at the technical side of things, can you tell us what particular ISR platforms are we likely to see in development in the near future, and where do you believe the real gaps are in present-day technology?
Well, it is clear that the current development in this field are relating to satellites and airborne platforms, so be they manned or unmanned. Most of the EU countries have gaps in terms of numbers of assets, first, available at least, and there is a clear need for additional systems. This is very clear. Well, regarding UAVs, there are lots of developments at EU and national levels in terms of UAVs projects itself, but also overarching issues like the insertion of UAVs in non-segregated airspace. And this is also, a field where EDA is working. But this is not my field of expertise, so right. I don't feel myself entitled to go into the details here. Okay, well, we'll save those for someone perhaps with more insight into the UAV area. Yeah, please. For now, is there anything you could tell us about the use or efficiency of unmanned underwater systems? Are they developed as much as the aerial versions? Well, they are well developed. The thing is that per se they are working underwater, so they are not much people are aware of what they are doing. But most of the technologies being used in this field are dual technologies, because it is also let's say the oil industry is using those to make surveys on pipelines and so on. In the military field, we are mostly using those into the, let's say, mine countermeasures operations. So, and those UAVs, not UAVs, sorry, underwater systems are already pretty much used. The thing is now that we have here at EDA a lot of R&D in this field, but regarding communication, regarding launch and recovery of those systems, regarding specifically energies, because energy is a clear topic here. And thing which is quite important as well is that we are not just developing now underwater vehicles or autonomous or we are also developing unmanned surface vehicle, because the concept that is being developed with regarding to a new mine countermeasure is to deploy this kind of underwater vehicles from an unmanned surface vehicle itself. So it enables the ships which is carrying all those systems to stay out of the minefield. So it's much more suitable for the ship itself, the mothership itself. So this is what is currently being developed. And once again, there's already, of course, existing systems which are already in use and operating, but there is definitely room for many other developments, and based once again on probably the ability to launch and recover smaller underwater systems from unmanned surface vehicle. Yeah, well, it does seem to be the case that just going on the recent discussions that we've had with some of our specialists, that mine countermeasures is one of those areas of maritime security that is perhaps overlooked in terms of investment, in terms of discussion, especially when you compare it to, let's say, unmanned systems or larger carriers or fast attack boats, or those fields that really seem to be, at least to most, the exciting areas. Would you say that's a fair point? It's a fair communication point, probably, but it's not a fair point, because the thing is, if you're operating naval assets, you need a full set of assets. So of course, aircraft carriers, big Navy ships, is something which is much more visible than probably MMCM, and probably also slightly more sexy for those who are not aware of what it involves to go into mine warfare. But yeah. Basically, let's take a basic example. If you want to operate a submarine, so if you want to operate ships out of a harbor, You have to make sure that on the way for these ships to leave the harbor first, that this way is clear of minds. And then if you look at something like sea line of communications, I mean, and in the latest, let's say, war or campaigns which have been made, I mean, this is mines still remains quite a cheap solution to defend or to make sure that nobody will go through a specific area. So, I mean, this has to be fought, and the means for that are MMCMs, or maritime mine countermeasures means. So they are definitely very, very important in the whole sets of assets that let's say maritime forces have to have.
Okay. Well, we've talked about a lot of technology. Can we just touch briefly on let's say the tactical or the cultural challenges in securing safer and better policed waters, at least from the EDA's perspective?
Yeah. So I will simply let the technical aspect aside, because when the member states face an actual problem, technical challenges can always be solved, I would say. But the question is, as for the MARSUR network, the cultural questions. This has been recognized by the WISE PEN team report. You know that the EDA has contracted a WISE PEN team,
yes.
Being a team of 5 retired, high experienced and high-ranking admirals. And they produce a document which is called Maritime Surveillance in support of CSDP. And the different challenges have been perfectly identified here. And we have to improve the coordination between all actors involved. And the defense community is only one actor in this area. So what we have to set up is a tool to enable that improved cooperation is enabled, if I may say. So EDA is contributing to this approach with the MARSUR network. But once again, we always say that this is a solution to exchange information and therefore contributes to better coordination. But we do not pretend this MARSUR network to be the solution. But this has been absolutely well identified also by the Commission in its communication termed towards the integration of maritime surveillance, a common information sharing environment for the EU maritime domain. I think this is it. Mm-hmm. And this document was already issued in October 2009. So progress here are being made. But as we are addressing, let's say, a cultural question, how to better cooperate all together, this will also take time, definitely.
Well, speaking of time, unfortunately for today we are out of time, so we will have to wait for further discussion on this topic at any of our upcoming naval defence events. But until then, Fabrice Coheleach, I would like to thank you very much for your time. We, of course, greatly appreciate your insight. And best of luck with your ongoing work in this domain.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
Perfect. Many thanks.
So firstly, Maritime Reconnaissance and Surveillance 2011 will be taking place in London between September 20th to the 23rd. You can find out more about that by visiting maritimerecon.com. Alternatively, if you'd like to find out more about our annual OPV event, visit offshorepatrolvessels.com, easy to remember. On both accounts, you can download more free content, news and information, including our extensive counter-piracy library. Register at either event by simply emailing defence@icupc.co.uk or by calling us directly on 44207 368 9300. That is all for today. Thanks for listening.